Hello everyone, welcome to another Dragons of Tarkir draft. In this pack, doesn't look like there's anything particularly amazing. I mean, we didn't win the rare contest, I don't think. Pretty sure Berserker's Onslaught is not going to be considered one of the top cards. Or one of the, good rares to have. Noteworthy cards, I think. We got Butcher. Exploit gives something -3/-3 on a 3/3. Pretty good. Saw Road Ambushers. I tried that last time. Couldn't quite make it work, but maybe first picking it would lead to a better result. Zephyr Scribe's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't given it a go yet, but seems fine. Sandstorm Charger also pretty good, and Breath pretty good, but I want to go with this Butcher. Now what we're gonna follow up here is, so I don't think I see an obvious pick. Dragons are generally a good thing to have. +1/+1 counter on each dragon you control. So basically these are Megamorphs that become 4/4 flying dragons with a special ability. First Strike I think is better than Trample. Dragon Fodder could be a fine card. I don't think this is very good. I've had it played against me. Was not overly impressed. I think this is what I like. This could be interesting. I don't think I'll draft the deck for it, but I do believe that this is a card that there is a deck for. Oh, it looks like I was wrong. It looks like that Onslaught's supposed to be a great card. My bad, guys. I bet on that last pick. 5-mana enchantment felt like it wasn't good, but I guess this is draft. We're going to go with this dragon here, which is going to be an awkward signal. But we're doing it. We're doing it! And I'm saying that card was supposed to be good based on... So I think, wow, so good white is being passed. I don't know what's better, just the removal spell or the Kieran. But the sense I was just going for is, I checked the Pantheon pick order, and that Onslaught is a top tier card. So it's better than any uncommon in this set, which means that I messed that up. But I make mistakes. So yeah, here I think one of these two is the pick. Silk Wrap Exiles. It's like the opposite of the one we had in the last set. Kieran is just a powerhouse of a creature. I think I'm going to go with the removal spell though, because I think early in drafts I like to prioritize removal. Okay. In this pack, Sabretooth is very noteworthy. I think I'm going to end up taking that. I think the Sunstriker is fine. It's a double striking Megamorph. Sweet. Especially if you can, pump it, give it some enchantments, anything like that. Defeat's a fine card, I've figured out. I like Glade Watcher. Updraft Elemental is fine too, but I think this card is very good. I think it was one of the people in the Pro Tour said it was, they're first picking this red card over almost anything out of the commons and uncommons in this set. So I think that's a signal. Following up, okay, I think this Scion is fine. I've seen it get played a good amount. I like Fire Hands. Removal's just sweet in general. Aspirant is fine filler. Drowner, I mean, okay. It kind of reminds me of the Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers, I think it was in, maybe it's not Gatekeepers, Gatewatcher or something in Dragon's Maze. Dutiful Attendant, I think is fine for an exploit deck. This 3-mana 2/4 is a fine card, but there's a lot of... I think green's pretty deep in this, as opposed to a lot of people say green isn't very deep. I think it is, so I think that this isn't anything along the lines of a signal. Out of this pack, nothing amazing here. I think this card's interesting. It's like a fireball that comes back to your hand. I don't think this is good. This is okay. I might run one of them. I don't think that's great. Not good. Not great. Not good. Filler. bad filler. So I think I'm going to go with this Berserker here. Okay, following it up, another Sabertooth Outrider is going to be the pick for me here pretty easily. Now this could be a sign that green is open. I like both of these cards a lot, but I think we know we want to be red, so I'm going to pick the red card. Also a fine card. Haven't played with it, probably something that you'll run as a 23rd, but you don't really want to be running. And I think a counterspell like this is fine to run one of in this format. People have big dragons, you can draw a card, as long as you have some other big instant speed plays like that you can have as options. Like if you can hold that counterspell up and a removal spell, then I think you're in good shape. Here I'm just going to take this 3-1. I think it's between these two. I think I want some power so that I can turn on these Outriders quickly and maybe be a low to the ground attacking red-white deck. This pack, I think it's pretty easy. Zephyr Scribe is just far and away the best card here. Ocean's Breath's also probably worth considering, especially if we have some high power guys that we can just tap down defenders and get in with damage. But I think I'm just going to take this safe, powerful blue card. This pack, exile target creature and opponent controls, they reveal and do that. I just don't think that's good. Tactician is something I'm not happy to play, but I'll probably play. I don't think I'm going to be moving to blue for this. I don't want to, I mean, Mind Rod I can get later. So let's just take that. Student of Ojutai I think is a surprisingly sweet card. I think both of these are very good cards actually. This one just grinds out value, which is kind of cool. I think I want to be doing a lot of attacking with this deck though, and I think it'd be pretty sweet to have this into like an Outrider. It's a close call, but I think I'm going to go with this. Also, now we have to actually make our deck have a curve. I don't like any of these cards. Get in the side. I don't know. I don't already have one of you. Get over here. That's a fine filler card. So realistically what this actually looks like, let's build this now because I was lazy before. It looks something like this. We might not be white, we could be black still. We could be blue. Speaking of being black, that's a reason to be black. Yep, I think that's a very good reason to be black. We weren't seeing that much. We were seeing a lot of red. We were seeing a good bit of white and green. But I think this card's powerful enough that maybe we'll get black this pack, and then we can go back to getting red in the third pack. Out of this pack, I think I'm going to go for another Outrider. I think it's between these two. I'm a big fan of this card. 3 mana 3/3 is just sweet to me. 2 mana 2/3 that's also, or 3 mana 2/3 that can also be a mana leak. Also a very nice card. Shield Bearer is okay. Okay, combat tricks are nice. So I think these are probably the two best cards in the pack, with this one being very close. So I'm fine with taking this Sabertooth Outrider here. So the question is, which of these two colors are we in? And how can we fill the slower end of our deck? Triple Outrider, pretty sweet though. Yep, so we're gonna be in black-red because that card looks sweet. Return target permanent. I mean, if this is like a straight maybe EDH card, 7 mana is a hell of a lot to pay for that. Monuments I think are okay. That's not good. I'll probably run one of these if I can wheel it. I would love to run a few of these. That 5 power turns these guys on, and you know, it just does a lot of damage. Other than this though, the pack not particularly strong, so probably a good sign. Let's move this deck around. So you're a 5-drop, you're a large drop, you're a large drop. So our top end looks pretty sweet now. We need to start filling up this early game. I think I'm going to pick Defeat here, oddly enough. So these are both fine, but I think that they're going to be easy for us to find replacements for. Whereas I'd like to just kind of have a removal spell that I can cast early in the game to keep from falling too far behind in case this deck does end up being just a very late game deck. Tormenting Voice probably also worth considering, but I think removal is what I'll pick here. Let's get some early drops that are powerful. Gorsvine would be nice. That's next pack, I think. Yeah, that's next pack. Removal is always nice at this point. Really, that's what we want, is just removal and then some early drops. Because our late game is pretty nice. Ooh, this could be very good in this deck. So if I can get a second one of these too, that would be amazing. What this will do is, on turn 3, it'll just let us wipe the board. It's a nice catch-all. I'm a fan of it. Aspirant's fine, although this is just much better. It'll be weird if, because we're gonna play some early drops anyways. Maybe I'll pick this. I think this is a good card. This is a fine card. Fine card. Fine card. I don't think this is good. There's battlefield exile all cards from target opponent's graveyard. You may play land cards exiled with it. You may cost non-lands. I don't think that's a good card. I don't think that's playable. I remember seeing LSV play it in a draft, but that's LSV, so I don't actually put that much weight behind it. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna take it. We're gonna take Evolving Wild. Oh, I forgot that it was gonna do that. Awkward. So we're gonna fix that. Out of this pack, I'm probably just gonna take. You know what? I think I'll take this Reckless Imp. So let's fix this curve. You're a 3-drop. You're a 3-drop. Something we can have survive a rupture. It dashes in. It gets returned with a Swift Warkite. So between these two, I think I'll be able to get a Kindled Fury on the wheel from an earlier pack. So I'll just take the Imp here. Don't really like any of these cards. I'll take this for the sideboard. Okay. Between these two, this is a nice card, but we're not going to be able to take it here. I think I'm just going to take a 2-drop. It's awkward with the Rupture, but we can always just keep it in hand if we have the Rupture. I've played worse cards than this, sure. I don't like it with the Sabertooths. We're hoping that we're not running this in the main. Fury, I'm a fan of. Maybe this does something in a sideboard. This is just the better card. So yeah, we're looking for now is opening up any of the on-color powerhouse rares in this pack would be nice. We want to fill this early curve, I think, a little bit and get a little bit more removal. I don't think I want that. 5 mana is so expensive for this effect. Like, Trumpet Blast doesn't have this gain trampled, but it's only 3 mana, and I think that's just better. And I don't think I would generally run Trumpet Blast in a deck, so I'm not running Volcanic Crush. Maybe if it had like Rebound, but that might be too powerful. Crucible of the Spirit Dragon, not a good card. Wow. Those are both great. Gurmag Angler, also a very good card. But I'm going to take this Heel Cutter. I love Heel Cutter. I'll shrink this back down so you can see it. When it attacks, target creature can't block this turn. Pretty good at clearing the way. This isn't particularly good against us. We have 1 creature with 4 toughness. 1 that can also get 4 toughness. So yeah, let's take this Heel Cutter. And I'm going to put in the 3-drops. It's not a 3-drop, but it's kind of a 3-drop. Out of this pack, Hmm. Hmm. So I still want to fill that early game. I don't really have much to fill it with in this pack. So I think my options here are Angler, Rage Form, Vanguard. I don't think Rage Form is very good. It's 4 mana for a 2/2 with the double strike that maybe can be something better. In this pack, it'll probably be something better a lot because we have a lot of late game. But I think I'm just going to take this Angler. If we can fill up that early curve, then it'll be a much better card. And how we want to fill that curve is with stuff like Sultai Emissary, exactly. 2 mana 1/1. It ends up filling our bin when it dies, and we still get a 2/2 out of it. So even if I do that and then find myself in a scenario where I have to follow up with, I think I want to take another one here. I'll explain it. If I have to follow up with Rupture, I'm still getting something out of it. So out of this pack, it's really between like these two cards. I don't think Humble Defector is that good. We aren't doing cutesy things with it. Maybe I guess we could tap this, then Seismic Rupture, which is kind of cute. I feel like the Emissary is just gonna be better for us though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Emissary. I think this is actually kind of close now that but I only have one cutesy thing I can do with this Humble Defector. So I'm gonna take this Emissary. Out of this pack, Hooded Assassin, good that we're still filling up that early game, and it avoids a Rupture. So let's take it. This is not a good pack for us. So the best cards in this pack are probably right into being Reality Shift. Reality Shift not being great, but being playable. I might just... Ruin Mark, I don't think is anything I'm ever going to play. I'm probably just going to take this Trespass because it's going to be worth at least 0.5 tickets, and we're literally not playing anything in this pack. Searching on the internet says dun, 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 it is worth nothing. It's worth 0.4 tickets. We'll take Fearsome Awakening. Maybe we run that. I don't think we run it. Maybe we do. This is technically filler that we have. Black Red Land. Snap it up. So yeah, we didn't see much black in the first pack, so it makes sense that we're getting cut there, but I think we got enough out of that second pack that we're fine with that. Out of here, I think I'll take this Efreet. I don't think I'm going to run it because I think this is going to be an 18 land deck because it has a lot to do in the later part of the game. I don't think I'm going to run this or this. So maybe I find myself in a matchup where I just need a little bit of something extra in the early game. Out of this pack, once again, right into being probably one of the best cards. These two, the best cards by far. I didn't take a Ruin Mark earlier, so I'll take one now in case there's a matchup where I end up just wanting to go all in and hope to get there. Because that happens sometimes. I don't think any of these are going to be filled, or going to be played. Which one's most likely to be helpful out of the sideboard? Probably the Ogre. In case there's some insane artifact I'm not remembering. We have 2 bits of fixing, which is kind of a nice life. Frostwalker, I'm just gonna hate on here. Decent card. Surprised it wheeled. Blue definitely not very played in this draft, but I didn't want to be in it. And I think our deck is better as is than it would have been if we had moved into blue at some point. So we take this out actually, and we end up running this over it, I think. We have some pretty good mana sinks in this deck, with the Lightning Berserker possibly being one, and the Damnable Pact being another one. Swift Warkite, Gromag Angler, nice cards. Good thing we took that Ruin Mark earlier, because we've only passed 3 of them, or seen 2 of them since then. 3 of them total. Maths. Now let's, oh yeah, Skirmisher. feel like that draft went moderately well. We have a good deck. We have big things to do in the late game. I'll move this to a 4-drop. Oh, I probably don't want to run this. We're going to figure out something that I can run over that. We have 2 dragons, which feels nice. I don't want a 1/6. I want power. Group creatures separately. You're a 3-drop. You're probably a 3-drop. What are you? Ooh, no, I know what you are. You're a 2-drop. So we have 16 creatures, 5 non-creatures. We have a lot of mediocre options to consider out of the sideboard. So the question is, what does this deck really want most? And these are really our options. So, Sadist I'm picking if I think we need to shore up the early game. But I think we're okay in the early game. We have 5 things we can play before turn 3. 6 actually, defeat. We'll definitely have so let's see, we have 9 permanents that we can get on board before turn 3. Probably not going to be something we play. Well, okay, so let's just think. 9 out of 40 means that we're probably going to have one of these in our hand every game, which is fine. Because I know with 4 things and a 40 card deck, or a 60 card deck, it's something like 50% of the time you're going to have it in your hand. So I'm assuming it's somewhere around, like, somewhere in the 80s for 9 things in a 40 card deck. I think those are the options we really have to consider. I guess Volcanic Rush, sure. Although I don't think that's very good. Let's look. So for our deck, I think we have enough late game. Because we can do this in the late game, this in the late game, this in the late game. Dragon, Heel Cutter. It's interesting. So, none of them are pseudo removal spells, otherwise I'd probably bring those in, because we only have 3 removal spells. Given that lack of removal spells, maybe it's supposed to be Volcanic Rush to just apply pressure. Difficult decision. If we just had like a 3-mana 3/2, I'd probably put that in over any of these. I just don't think Volcanic Rush is well, I guess none of these are very good cards. Fearsome Awakening, 5 mana, return a creature from my graveyard to my hand. Am I okay with spending 5 mana to get like a Sabertooth Outrider? Seems like it'll be a common target. I mean, probably. There's also the potential upside of a Stormwing Dragon or a Swift Warkite. Is that enough to make it worth running, though? Because I feel like it's not. But maybe it is. Because we're gonna... Heel Cut is another thing we can lose in combat pretty easily because it has 2 toughness. But maybe we're supposed to run this Volcanic Rush. I think I might just want to try Volcanic Rush. I've never played it before. I think it's bad. But I've never seen it played. I don't actually have an experience to base that, off of. So I'm kind of ready to be proved wrong. I always like when I'm proved wrong on something's better than I expected. Is there anything else worth cutting? Looks fine, looks fine, looks fine. We want these 2 in. Then let's look at our distribution. So we don't actually have that much black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I probably want a 10-7 split of red to black. So we have 16 spots. 9-7, because then it's really 10-8, 11-9. Yeah, I think that seems fine. Let's see what it suggests. 9-7, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because that's actually 11-9. Evolving Wilds helps fuel the angler. Always gotta satisfy the angler. I don't think there's anything worth splashing. If we wanted to, I mean, we have the Evolving Wilds. We could theoretically splash. If we'd seen White Lands, maybe it would have been worth picking up. No, Silk Wrap's something I think I want to splash in the early, or play in the moderately early game. So I think this deck looks good as is. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys in round 1. Link to the video should be somewhere in the bottom right.